Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Costa, and as you can tell by my solid black attire, I am now a minimalist. Okay, I'm just joking here, but it does seem to me that a lot of the more popular minimalist influencers do tend to stick to black. In my case, I just think it looks good with my skin tone. All jokes aside, I just wanted to have a quick chat with you to talk about where my minimalist journey is right now and how it's going. So today I'm going to discuss some of the changes that I've made in pursuit of living life a little bit more intentionally and sort of the mindset shift that's come along with that. So I'm going to share some of my biggest wins with you, but I also want to talk about some of the things that I've been struggling with as well. Throughout the video, I'm also going to talk about a few of the tips and methods, tools that have helped me kind of stay on track, and it may help anyone who's also interested in this lifestyle. To start out, I'm going to talk about some of the biggest changes that I've noticed. So probably the most obvious change would be the more physical stuff, like how I've been doing a lot of decluttering videos and showcasing just the gradual decluttering of my bedroom. I've done several videos on the physical decluttering of my space. I think that oftentimes when someone starts minimalism, it does usually start with decluttering, so it really is a great place to start because it kind of gets you honed in on that initial mindset. But the progress that I've made so far has made my room feel so much less claustrophobic, more clean, more organized. I've been able to donate a lot of my stuff, but also I've been able to sell a few things too, just to make a little bit of extra cash. Another one of the big changes that I've experienced that's probably even more substantial or important than the physical stuff is the kind of mindset shift that's happened. So whereas before I felt drawn to these impulsive purchases from Amazon or Target or wherever, I feel myself more automatically weighing out the pros and cons to certain purchases. I usually ask myself questions like this: will I actually use this? Do I want this thing taking up my valuable space? And what emotions am I feeling right now as I'm about to purchase this? With these questions in mind, I have found out that a lot of the purchases I make are kind of emotional. They have some kind of emotional drive behind them, which there's nothing inherently wrong with that. But in my case, I like to be a little bit logical and mindful in the purchases that I make and the items that I bring into my space. Now, something that's really helped me with this is a very simple tactic that I learned. Basically, I have made a deal with myself that for every $100 that I spend, I will wait 2 days before I purchase it. Like for an example, an item that cost me around $600, I would wait about a week before I purchased it. This will give me plenty of time to make sure that the motivation behind it wasn't just an impulsive, like, because everyone else has it, I need to have it kind of a thing. It helps me make sure that the item that I'm bringing into my space or into my life will actually benefit me in some way. Another plus side to this method is that oftentimes after I wait this period of time, I will find that I don't really want the item anymore. That emotion behind it has kind of subsided. This method is just a really good way to kind of eliminate the pressure that you feel from a sense of urgency to buy something. Okay, next up I want to talk about some of my biggest wins. I'd say by far my biggest win has been my no spend January. Now, that's not to say that I was perfect during the month, but I did do really well on not making any like additional Amazon or random Target purchases or just non-essential purchases in general. Though I will say that the one thing I did slip up on was a little bit of DLC from this video game that I really like. And you know what? I'm not even sorry for it. If like that was my only thing that I messed up on, I'm not gonna be too harsh on myself. I say that's pretty good. Like, it was something that brought me joy and happiness into my life, so I don't regret purchasing it. Overall though, the month of January was a very interesting time. Now, I wouldn't say it was easy, at least at first. There were definitely a lot of things that I found I wanted to purchase over the course of January. But instead of purchasing them, I just went ahead and wrote them down. Now that we've rolled over into February, I've taken a look at the list that I made throughout January and kind of taken account of what I wanted to purchase. I actually plan on buying a few of those things because I've had a long enough period of time for me to weigh out the pros and cons and evaluate if it is really something that I want in my life. Another one of my biggest wins is probably a kind of byproduct of the no spend January and it is that I have paid down a lot of my credit card debt. It's been a pretty big goal of mine for some time now to become debt-free. So I'm really happy with how this is progressing. In fact, I should have all of my credit card debt paid off by the end of this month. And that is a very satisfying feeling. So I've actually been able to keep a lot of my 2022 minimalist resolutions that I made at the beginning of this year. I know it's only 1 month in, but you know, small wins, right? And I will leave a link in the description on the video I made for that down below. Okay, so I have talked about the good stuff, all of the wins, the happy moments. Now it's time to talk about some of the things that have been a little bit more difficult. Probably the hardest part has just been maintaining the areas of my room that I've decluttered. I've made several videos on me decluttering my room, and that's great and all, but honestly, that's only half the battle. I mean, I did all that work of clearing out my space. I think I owe it to myself to maintain the cleanliness. While this has been a challenge for me, one thing that I have found that does help is another simple tactic that I'll share with you. It's a pretty popular anti-procrastination tactic used by the productivity folks to help you get things done, but it also really helps with keeping your space clean. It's called the 2-minute rule, and it's very simple. So basically, if there's anything in your room or space or something that's been weighing on your mind that you can just get done or cleaned up in less than 2 minutes, just go ahead and do it. I mean, it's just 2 minutes of your life that you trade for that mental clarity that comes with a clean and organized space, or a task that's been weighing on in the back of your mind and distracting you from being focused. I think it's a pretty fair trade if you think of it like that. Just do it. Anyways, there you have it. There's my minimalist journey update for you. The tiny, incremental, and even the larger changes that I have made have already started adding up. Also, the decluttering is an ongoing thing. They're in progress, so expect more videos on that soon. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. What up? No, not gonna do that. Hi, how's it going? Let me stretch all my things. Okay, see, I'm the worst at intros and outros. That's like the hardest part.